going to talk about how we can do things differently, right? What can we do as care partners to help our person who is living with dementia feel more comfortable, safe, right? And accomplish our goals, because we do have tasks we need to get done, but how can we do that with the least amount of stress and resistance and the most support? So we're going to start with our what Pat refers to as hand under hand. Oh, in terms of
how do you realize you had a really hard time not going through it? And hang on there.
so what Tifa did was she touched her down. But that's a good point. Do to yourself what we just did to you. Let's see how it feels. Right? So picking up your shoe or touching your own hair, right? See, how does that feel different?
That feels different than when we touch you. Yeah. Because if you are doing it yourself, you're actually stretching and receiving and it's closed circuit. However, when we do two with an open circuit, and for your brain, we eliminated the knowledge of where and when the touch was going to occur, and so your brain is like, oh, 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 oh. It was a hyper alerting, and let me tell you something that we don't think about touch. Light moving touch. Light moving touch. Light moving touch is an alerting around the touch. It's the hyper alert kind of thing. Danger, danger, will run it. Because it says, I'm thinking, what is it? You don't know what it is. And so what happens when we put our hands on people, even lightly, so you touch them like you oh. Because it came out of nowhere. So what I'm going to do is have you try something a little different. And we'll really work on this skills back. And I want to do a test drive on see if it makes a difference. Okay. I want you to shake hands with the person. Now,
Okay, so do what Tifa's doing with your partner. Tim gets to come up here with me.
like that, right? So shake hands, and notice the next thing you're going to do is like us.
Right?
Well,
We
that's
shake
no
hands.
problem. So I want to stay connected, so that way it keeps the touch, so that you'll know
Right?
what I'm
Everybody let go except one person. That's not what we do. Is we let go. Who wants to do that? No.
Go ahead and do it. Ow! Let go! Let go! What are you doing?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Squeeze.
Or if they feel like I'm trying to hold on to it,
Right? Try and pull your person. It's gonna happen. Right? You're gonna pull back.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, and I don't want to trust you. I want to leave your fingers free. I want my fingers free, but I want to be connected. So what I'm gonna do is slide like this.
Okay. So you go like this. Like this.
Make them go like this. You should feel like you've created a bird.
Bird.
A butterfly. You're connected, but you're free to move. Close them down. They can hold on. They can use strength. They might use skill. It's comforting because you got pressure down there at the palm.
There we are.
Here's a really cool part. Hold on to them with your strength fingers. And you
Is it
can use your skill fingers.
So let's pause that for a minute because we didn't talk about that.
And you turn it so you're underneath, which gives the sense of
So on our hands, right, that we always have, we have fingers that are for strength, that we use for strength, right? These two. So if you're opening a jar of peanut butter, these are the fingers you use, right? Strength. Swinging a hammer, strength. And what if you want to write something with a pencil? You need skill. These are our skill fingers, right? So somebody who's living with dementia is going to lose skill before they lose strength. So those people who are living with dementia that you're like, how could they be so strong? Keep strength. That's a primitive part of your brain, right? You got to protect yourself. hand under hand, and we're in this position, and I'm supporting you, and I'm using my strength fingers to support you, I still have my skill fingers available, okay? And so we'll watch Tifa, but I will also say that if you are somebody who needs assistance eating, I can put the fork in my skill fingers and help you to eat, okay? There's a big difference between me saying it's time to eat and me saying, hey, let's eat, right? So if I'm just trying to shove a spoon in your mouth, more times than not, you're not gonna open your mouth, right? Or it's gonna take some extra coaxing. But if we're in a hand under hand supported position, and your body has muscle memory, right? It has muscle memory. It knows what this means. It knows what to do. You don't have to think about that. That's part of your memory. It's intact. So if I'm doing this, your body knows that when I go like this, oh, there could be food. Open up. It's the same for brushing your hair, right? Maybe doing your zipper. All of those things where you're like, you know, like with the shoe, you jumped back. It's a lot different for me to do it to you than for me to do it with you, right? So when we use hand under hand, we can do it with our partner. Okay, let's see what else we have.
Support you and help you, not try to keep you doing it. Okay?
Okay, so let's pause for a minute. So let's practice that hand under hand, make sure we get it right. So again, decide who's the person who's going to be living with dementia. Okay, so you probably have to stand up, because when you're doing hand under hand, you want to be on the person's dominant side. How will I know what is your dominant side? Whatever hand you're right with. How will I know what hand you're right with?
Most times if you shake somebody's hand, they're gonna bring up the dominant side.
Well, not always, because we learn to shake with our right hand.
Okay.
But what if I hand you a pencil?
Okay.
You're gonna take it with your dominant hand. Are you lefty? No, on your left side. Mostly you'll take it with your dominant hand. So most of the world are righties. It's okay to assume that that's the right side, but be aware that that might not be the person's dominant side. So first we're gonna try everybody on the right. So you might have to stand up. Tim, that. So I know that Tim, are you ready? Yes. Okay, I know he's a righty. So if I approach him like this and get into my hand under hand, I want to come to his right side. Okay? So let's try that. Your hand, if you're the person who is supporting the person living with dementia, your hand should be under their hand, supporting them. Okay? Now, the only thing I want you to notice about this is if you are working with somebody hand under hand, and we need to go somewhere, right? Try and see how easy it is for you to lead the person without the person feeling like you're leading them, right? Because you're walking together. If I'm here, I know where he's going. I can direct him wherever I need him to go. And what's the chances that he's going to be able to hit me and I'm not going to be able to get out of the way, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he might need a second hand. That's okay too, right? We can walk together like this. Okay, so it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. So
Okay, with the second hand, did you have your hand up under?
under, always under. Because I'm supporting him.
You're the one with dementia.
Wow.
That's not right. That's not right.
Okay.
Okay.
Do this.
Strong fingers, yeah, yeah, okay.
I'm sure it's also going to depend on how much assistance the person.
Definitely, how much assistance the person needs.
Okay.
What happens if they don't wanna go?
I know.
If they don't wanna go, we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's first get this. Now, the other thing I want you to try before we switch is I want you to do it on the non-dominant side. So, I want you to stand on somebody's non-dominant side. You're gonna have to use your left hand.
You're struggling.
And if you're the person who's living with dementia, I want you to notice, how does that feel? Awkward. How else?
Yeah, because I'm not used to it, I always.
Feels all right for you? So Susan, never mind.
Okay.
She'd be one of those happy people.
Agreeable.
Agreeable, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, now switch.
Okay.
So now the other person is the person who's living with dementia. Then you try.
You're the dominant, I'm the person with dementia.
You're gonna take.
Right? And some of this stuff is so like, feels like.
It feels like you're doing it with each
But you have to be at my length.
Right, so Tim made a really good point that I want everybody to hear. He was saying that when we're assisting people who might have an unsteady gait, right, we might walk with them like this.
Yeah.
If that person falls, how much are we gonna be able to help them? But if I'm walking with somebody like this and they have an unsteady gait, I still probably am not gonna be able to keep them up, but I'm sure gonna be able to make that fall go a lot smoother. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it works with all people. That's the amazing thing. You actually don't have to have dementia to make this work. I sometimes use these things with my kids. I won't lie. Okay. It works. It's amazing. All right. So let's see what I can do here. Okay, so with your partner, give them the hand under hand. Okay? So what Tifa's talking about is hand-eye coordination. Hand-eye. Alright?
Then if you lay it on its back, so it doesn't have to do a whole lot of work, and you put the dangly crap down, right in the middle range. They're fascinated by it, because they like to see it. And then they're just starting to learn how to do some of this stuff. They're not very good at it, you know, they're special trained, they're learning how, and they're learning to really get scrappy. And so,
Hand-eye. One of the first things we learn, right?
and you can watch it when they get it, it's like, look what I did! You can see it, I have control. And suddenly their excitement builds because they have the feeling that they control the world. So what we're gonna do, that's the oldest, most primitive sensory motor system in the brain. The one that is gonna prevail the longest through the end of this disease. It'll be loud when I do it. But I'll leave it still before I leave it.
Okay, so we're just gonna pause this out.
The reason why you took out.
I'm gonna go on without this. So when you're in here, hand under hand,
Oh, that's right.
I want everybody to get a hand under hand. So Jennifer and George, like this. Oh, there you go. Alright. And the person who is supporting the person living with dementia, make sure your hand is under. So you're supporting that person. Which one of you two has dementia? Here, you're on the wrong side of her. Better get up. It's up to us to manage the environment, right? It's up to us to manage the environment. So, if you are the person who's living with dementia, I want you to look away. Now, if you're the person who's supporting that person, I want you to give their hand a little squeeze. Now, what do you want to do if you're the person living with dementia? See who squeezed your hand? Hand, eye, right? Hand, eye. So this hand under hand is also a great way, if you're working with somebody and you lose their attention, a little bit of a pump there. Where'd that come from? Right? Where did that come from? Or you're gonna grab their attention back. Okay, so that's hand under hand. It goes right along with positive approach, positive physical approach. So this is the way that we approach people who are living with dementia. And it starts with this idea of human awareness and space. So human, oh, I'll go back to that slide. Here we go. There are 3 zones of human awareness. Public space, more than 6 feet away. So if I'm here, Sharon, no threat, right? I'm more than 6 feet away, this is public space, we're good. Personal space is 6 feet to arm's length. So Sharon, could you stand up, please? So, your arm and my arm, right? Here, personal space. No threat. What about here? Private space, right? Private space, that is my intimate space. You are not welcome in here until I ask you to come in, whether I have dementia or not. There is public space, personal space, intimate space. Yes, Bob?
What happens if you're trying to take their hand to walk them in and they refuse to, let you take their hand?
Stop, take a step back, reapproach. Okay, we're gonna talk about that a little bit now. So, positive physical approach is very aware of these 3 zones. And it says that I am not allowed into your personal space unless you invite me in. Okay? So you have a sheet, I don't have it. You have one of your slides is a little cheat sheet for positive physical approach. I have it somewhere. Here. It looks like this. Positive physical approach cheat sheet. Okay? So, the way we approach somebody who's living with dementia matters. Approach matters. So, let's hand, using hand, okay. So, here's the steps to positive physical approach. Who would like to be my volunteer? Tim! Awesome. You get to sit in the chair. Okay? I am going to use this guide, right, for my positive physical approach. The first thing I want to do is get in that person's visual range. So we talked about that when we did the activity, right? What could we do different? We could be in their visual field. How do human beings take in data? What's the #1 way? Visual. Visual. We want to be in their visual field. Okay, but just because I'm in Tim's visual field, does he see me? No. No. He could be looking at my beautiful slides. He could be looking at something on the floor. Just because I'm here doesn't mean he's really going to see me. Now, when I'm approaching Tim, how far back do you think I should start?
From a distance.
How far?
From a distance.
A distance Yep. What do we know? Public space, personal space, intimate space. Where should I start? Public space. That's right. I want to be far enough back so I am not a threat to Tim. Because I can tell you, if I come up to Tim like this, I am a threat, right? I'm a threat. You can say that there, it's good. But if I stop here at the edge of public space and then I start, well, we have something different, okay? So we're gonna go through the steps and then I'll show you how to do it. So when you stop at the edge of public space, you have to figure out a way to get the person to notice you. I will tell you, the first time I did this, I thought, what the heck am I doing? But it's amazing how it works. So if you're entering someone's room, if you work in a facility, you might knock, right? Right? Auditory. People look. What if I'm not entering somebody's room and we're in here? What could I do? You could call their name. What positive physical approach says is you should still knock. People are used to answering when somebody knocks. So what can I do? Knock, knock. It's a strange thing, right? But when I say knock, knock, what do you say? Who's there? It's one of those autonomic things that we're used to saying. Knock, knock. Even if you don't say who's there, you're really gonna look, right? So, it says on here, get into visual range, right? And then you knock. And you announce yourself. Knock, knock. Hi, it's Deb. Then you pause. Oh, see what Tim did? He waved. That's an invitation, right? I got his attention. Pause at the edge of personal space. 6 feet. I want to pause over here. I really want to be, I'm only standing here because I really want to be on Tim's dominant side. It makes him feel more comfortable. If I'm standing here, right, he's going to be way more comfortable than if I'm standing here. This is not his dominant side, right? He's not in control. So, I get into visual range. I pause at the edge of public space. I do my knock. I greet and I smile. Hi, it's Deb. Now, who can guess why I said hi up here? Visual.
Get him to look at your face.
Right. Well, to get him to look at my face, or is he going to look at my face?
He's going to.
It's going to. It's going to be looking for where the sound comes from, right?
Yeah.
The verbal is going to force a visual. And if I have my hand up here, he can see it. Now, he can see my hand, and that deep part of his brain can see my open hand and know that I'm not a threat. Right? That part that we're really not thinking about, let's see. Oh, her hand is open, she's not a threat. So I stop, I knock, knock, knock. Hi, it's Deb. And I wait, right? Here it says, well, it doesn't actually say, oh, it says number 3, pause, edge of personal space. You have to pause. I can't just say, knock, knock, hey, it's Deb. No, I didn't give him a chance to invite me in, right, Bob? That's what you were asking. I didn't give him a chance to invite me in. You have to pause. So, knock, knock, hi, it's Deb. This is an invitation. He wants to connect. He's telling me he wants to connect. It's an invitation. So now I can come in here, right? Move slowly. We talked about putting your hand up here and offering a handshake. Now, it's important to remember that when you offer your handshake, that you come from up here. That your hand comes from up here. So, this is what I want everybody to do. As we age, our visual field lessens. Yes, Sharon? Oh. As we age, our visual field lessens. So, when we are young, our peripheral vision is back here. And as we age, it gets lesser and lesser. So, not to call anybody out, but I'm going to ask one of these young ladies to come up here. Come on up. I'll just call myself out. So, we'll both start back here. I want you to pause when your hands are at the edge of your peripheral field, okay? So you stop and you can see your hands.
I can see that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop when I can see my hands. where I can see my hands. See the difference? I'm 45. How old are you?
I'm
24. I hope normal aging. But as you get dementia, your visual acuity lessens and lessens and lessens. So in early stages, we look like this, and we go like this, and we go like this. Everybody do that, put on your binocular vision. Oh, this is scuba vision, sorry. And then your binocular vision. And then your monocle vision. All right, now, keep this vision up. Now, if I come to you and I say, hi, it's Deb, and I go like this, can you see my hand? Okay, now, if I go, hi, it's Deb, can you see my hand? No. No, can't see my hand. If I come up to you and I say, hi, it's Deb. But if I go like this, hey, it's Deb. Got no idea my hand is there. No idea. So, thank you, Kate. So, we want to start up here and come from here, right? We want to come from here. Even when we're greeting people in the lobby, we want to come from here, right? Hi, it's good to see you. People, this is an automatic response.